snakeskin leather jacket and big ass like shades that he wears, and his beard.
Yeah, I don't know, but
no offense to people with beards.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
I really enjoyed Cage in this movie. I feel like he makes the movie because it really falls on him later on in the basically the whole later half of the film is. Had he not been on his game, it would have fell apart, But we get an impressive performance from him. Although it's still kind of wacky and fun, but also coming from a place of torment because he loses somebody. And it becomes like this crazy tale of revenge.
Yeah.
Wow
on acid.
Yeah. Or what is it? LSD.
LSD,
or something. Just some crazy, and the amount of homages and nods and stuff throughout this, this is obviously the crew they're fans of heavy metal because it drips with heavy metal references all the way through with the heavy guitar, the axe that he creates later on,
Mandy's shirts,
the
whole time,
Black
every
Sabbath,
scene.
Motley Crue, and the classic the cut, even the cut. Very 80s aesthetic, which I, always love. There's so much positive in this.
Yeah,
it's crazy to. I don't know where to start. Did you notice at the end, because in the beginning of the film, they talk about their favorite planets, and that's where they end it with is
the Jupiter and Saturn in the background.
You can see them in the
sky,
in the. What is it? The horizon line, which is
where they pan out, which is amazing.
Yeah. It's just how did they even do that?
Dude, again, can we just talk about how visually this was so freaking brilliant again? Yeah.
It's for any director of photography or anybody who has any experience in that. This is like a wet dream.
Yeah.
For them.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a boner most of the time watching this editing, this put together. It's just ooh.
And then it feels like the narrative is pushed as if you're reading a book. Almost. Or like a graphic novel. And that's very interesting in itself. It's like the title cards and everything, and then the music is like a character all its own. Shout out to Johansson, who passed away. This was his very last score.
Wow.
Spoiling this one fact, but whatever. His very last score before he passed away, and I guess he was actually supposed to do Blade Runner.
Oh wow.
2049, and then what's his name? Hans Zimmer.
Hans, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Mondo is putting out a very a limited pressing of 2049, the soundtrack on vinyl, at their booth, Comic-Con. I think it starts Thursday. 500 copies only.
Nice.
So, go pick that up.
Ooh,
because that's a great soundtrack, too. But back to Mandy. There's so much good here.
One thing I really do wish that there was more, not even. I would like to know the connection between the cult and the bikers, but to maybe know a little bit more of the bikers. But you kind of do get that backstory from his buddy in the trailer, where he kind of just says these guys took a bad batch of LSD and now they're all fucked up. But I don't know. I wish I had some type of something more from them. Something's missing, but
I feel that too. I think that's maybe the big part of this story that kind of how do you say, it just forces you to be like, okay,
yeah, exactly,
I'll run with this.
Yeah,
but it could have been done a little bit better with smoother transition into why are these guys like mutant freaks, but everybody else is normal.
Yeah.
But these guys just live amongst everyone as if it's okay. You know what I mean? As far as, because they are obviously not completely human.
Mm-hmm.
He during one of the fight scenes, he shoots an arrow through one of the dude's necks,
and he's fine,
and he's still able to carry on an entire fight scene.
Yeah.
So there's some kind of,
more
maybe
they become mutated,
or
like
immortal
super soldiers
until you decapitate them or some Highlander style.
That's the only, I think, thing that was like you said missing, and I wanted at least story.
At the same time, knowing this filmmaker, I believe probably it was meant to be obscured, and I'm sure he left that out because a lot of, if you look back on art house films, they tend to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
They leave a lot to the imagination, but it's just sometimes it's almost like you leave too much to the imagination, and then you lose people. That way too, because it's like you can't. Sometimes you have to be fair, with the give and take of that, if that makes sense at all.
Can we talk about the fact that Nicolas Cage and the chemist had a psychedelic conversation without Nicholas saying anything?
Yeah.
He's like basically asking his questions and answering them without us hearing the answer from Nick.
Yeah.
And it was kind of just like, he's like, oh yes, definitely.
And he releases that tiger all like...
Was it Lizzie?
Yeah.
Oh, Lizzie.
Bye, Lizzie.
Richard Brake's always great.
Oh man,
that was such a weird cameo.
That was such a cool scene. I love that scene. That was probably one of my top scenes in that movie. Just that conversation.
That was funny. Oh, they really mess you up, man.
Why they gotta be like that?
Yeah, you have a dark cosmic energy emanating from you. Man, that was a good scene.
It is. This is full of memorable scenes. Like something haunting is and I don't know how far we're taking this, but the kind of blanket burning was hard. It's slowed down and excruciatingly long, and just watching it in real time
uncomfortably, just like a long shot of someone being burned alive.
That was just like, we could have done faster.
I think it's justified because
you're meant to feel that way.
Because it's you want to feel for Red.
Yeah, exactly.
And the reason why, and I think that this is good, because the cult ends up kidnapping Mandy. Because the leader, what's his name? Jeremiah Sand. He says, whatever you got to do, fucking call our guys, whatever. I want her, right? And you don't really know why he wants her until later on, when they've kidnapped her and they've drug induced her and everything, and they have her in the possession, and you realize that Jeremiah wants her for like a sexual fantasy type of thing, and they're all strung out on whatever, too, LSD, whatever, and he kind of tries to seduce her, and he gets naked, and he's a musician, puts on his record, and I guess maybe this works. I'm assuming that he recruited all the women and does this to all the women that are already there, and it has like the reverse effect, because he takes off his robe, and he's like, he's like flaccid, and she just starts laughing, uncontrollably laughing at him, and then she's like, oh, and this is your music too? And he's like, yeah, this is me. And she just starts laughing, and kind of takes away what he thinks is his manhood. And so
it's aura.
Yeah.
It takes away his aura.
It's like no one's ever disrespected him on that level before. And so he decides to kind of make an example out of her in a lot of ways. And so he goes out, and all of a sudden his whole, from her going, like in the beginning, he was like, oh, she's so beautiful. Her, her aura is intense. I've never met anybody like her. And then once she disrespected him, it turns into, oh, you and your ugly whore.
We spent, what did he say? He said,
we wasted a
good batch on your whore.
Yeah, and
with that bee.
Oh man.
And Red's basically forced to watch them.
Burn her life.
Yeah, they have her in like what looks like a sleeping bag or something, and they harness her up underneath like this bonfire pit thing, and make him watch
that line. The darker the slit, the brighter the flame.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yeah, that was a gnarly line.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Brother Swan. Brother Swan.
Yeah. I'm not related to that guy. I'll tell you that.
No relation there.
I love how the fact that they always remind Red about her burning in
throughout the whole film.
Throughout the whole killing, every killing.
Mutant biker.
Yeah.
They
burns.
because they leave Red. They have him tied up. I think they stab
him in his ribs.
Yeah, and they basically leave him for dead. Like, there's no way this guy's, we've taken the one person that he loves. We're gonna just leave him for dead, and he's able to get out. He goes back home and loses his shit. Mm-hmm. Literally, he rages out a bit, which is pretty funny.
In the bathroom.
In essence, yeah.
Just chugging a bottle of vodka. It's
not funny when you think about it because it's realistic, but watching Nic Cage in his whitey tighties freak out is awesome. Chugging vodka
in a sick ass tiger shirt
straight from the bottle. You can actually get that shirt.
Really?
Yeah, you can get the 44 one too. They sell them. If you're interested in that.
I might get the tiger one.
The tiger one's sick.
Tiger's blood.
Dude, but there was a Cage has a lot of a lot of head steals that I think I want. That that
screensaver or something, or a poster.
I was just yelling. I was like, man, I want that. Man, I want that.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, oh, maybe this one's better. Yeah, great work for the cinematographer.
Oh yeah, I really like the face melting scene when he takes a little finger drop of the LSD. Kind of reminded me of what movie was it? Indiana Jones, where they're drinking the Holy Grail, and dude turns super old.
Or like Evil Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of animation.
Yeah, that was it was fun to see that kind of claymation kind of.
Yeah, they experiment with different kind of forms of like they go from animation to claymation, and then the different film stocks and everything. So there's so much creativity.
So much going on the whole time visually.
Which is why I was so confused that they haven't had a special edition come out for
That'd
this.
Be
cool. For what this movie is, the cover is pretty plain.
It's just Nick, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. I'm hoping they come out. I think this is destined to be Criterion for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
At one point or another, this has to be inducted.
Did it ever come into... It never came out as a steelbook, did it?
No.
That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, I hope they have something coming.
Psychedelic colors.
Because,
this has to be a cult classic. This.
It definitely has its following.
Yeah.
I have the vinyl, too, for this.
Do you?
Yeah. It was pretty expensive, but well worth it.
Man.
Spend no expense.
You want to get into some Swan Fest?
Yeah, let's get into
the Swan Fest. I'm actually interested.
I know.
In this movie.
I know, Brother Swan.
Hit us with those.
Don't call me that. Swan Fest. This was the last film scored by Icelandic composer Johan Johansson. He's known to work with Denis Villeneuve. So he did Prisoners, Mary Magdalene, Mother, The Theory of Everything, Sicario, and The Arrival.
Oh, nice!
So,
those are good movies.
Yeah, he had a good run. The R.I.P. The weapon Red creates in the film is a nod to metal band Celtic Frosts and their logo. The fight involving chainsaws was filmed in just one night and was not at all enjoyable, according to Panos, the director.
Really?
Yeah. It was. I guess he described it as a